Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas, Paul. Ho, 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 ho.
Welcome to Forest Chat, where we talk about individual endeavour in Western Australia, what it takes, what it means, and how you do it. I'm your host, Paul Vandermeer, and in this episode, we're talking with Santa Claus, aka Duncan Booth. Now, Duncan's never actually played Santa Claus like in real life and dressed up in the suit and all that sort of thing, but he has actually been involved in some very Santa Claus-like activities. Welcome to Forest Chat, Santa Claus.
Very nice to be with you, Paul. Very nice. Of course, I've been here. It was very, very hard to get down your little chimney last year, but lovely to be back.
It was the size of that sack that you had on the back, actually, that was the problem, wasn't it?
It's a very full sack. It definitely is a full sack, ready to be emptied this Christmas to all the kids around the world. 2 billion homes.
Is that right?
It's a lot of chimneys.
That's a lot of chimneys. There's always been talk about the physics of doing that.
Oh, yes, it's a very warm night, that one is. The friction alone certainly does make it warm, which is good if you're going to a whole lot of wintry countries, but down here, down under, yes, those glasses of milk certainly do help. Not the middle, but help me cool down on that very, very long Christmas Eve night.
Fantastic. So we'll talk about Santa Claus. What is Santa Claus? Where does that all come from?
Well, I'm very magical, very, very magical. I've been around for a long, long time. In fact, since the very first snowflakes fell at my home at the North Pole. Mary and I, you know my wife, Merry Christmas?
Oh, yeah, I wondered where she was.
Yes, a lot of people refer to her as Mrs. Christmas, but she's very, very, very special to me. Yes, it's a very long year of preparation.
Yes, so how does that work? Like all the kids start sending you letters at about October time, is that right?
Yes, well, this is what I want to chat about. If we can get people to be re-educated on this, it would make the second half of the year a lot less busy for my whole team. Of course, Bernard, my main elf, he's been with me forever, and he looks after all those mischievous elves that help me in my toy-making factory.
Well, that's the beauty of magic, isn't it?
That is the beauty of magic, and editing might even help this as well with a bit of magic. Yes, Bernard's been heading up our workshop for a long, long time, making some wonderful gifts for the children, but yet we need to know what they're after. So if you could get those little letters coming in a little bit earlier, that could take the pressure off the whole crew at this Christmas time.
I heard you've bought half of Hawaii, that you get there about January and, you're there until like September.
Yes, Surfing Santa, he has been seen on a few Hawaiian shirts, so the clues are there. But North Pole, that's my postal address. So according to all the governments, that's where I reside.
Good tax breaks.
Shh. Yes, it's a gig that I've been doing for a long, long time now, and definitely the joy that comes with this job is what keeps me going. It's beautiful to see all those naughty kids. They'll be on the list throughout the year, and I'm thinking, well, that's fantastic. We've got a lump of coal for them. But then somehow they turn around and start behaving just in time. But yeah, it is a privilege to hold this position and help out so many during this Christmas period.
So what's amongst the most interesting things that you've been passing over to these youngsters at Christmas time?
Well, even though puppies are not just for Christmas, I do find that there are a lot of pups in my sack. It gets a little bit noisy at the start of the evening, but as soon as we get a few out of there, the fighting stops, and the joy comes. But yes, a lot of pets go out there. Barbie dolls, they've been a staple over the years. Definitely Barbie dolls. The old Tonka trucks. They aren't quite as prolific as they used to be, but they're always a beauty for the young kids to get stuck into on Christmas morning. Bikes. I can bring up bikes. Thank goodness it is a magical sack, because those things, they are so hard to pack.
Yeah, and you would have had all sorts, pre-assembled, unassembled.
Oh, the big wheeled green machines, they just took up way too much. Not quite as popular now, but yeah, it's Cabbage Patch Kids. They were huge at one stage there. They've dwindled a bit. But yeah, it's amazing. PlayStations are on the list. I do see PlayStations a lot nowadays.
Yeah, so that's a sign of the times, I guess, in a lot of ways.
Definitely it is. When I very first started out, there were lots of hoops and sticks. Kids were happy with a hoop and a stick, but not anymore.
And what's the gnarliest thing that you've had to deliver?
Well, the ones that are sounding gnarliest at the moment, but luckily the elves can make them very, very safe, are the axe throwing games. Who would have thunk it that kids nowadays are actually requesting axe throwing games from Santa?
Wow, axe throwing. Like, don't they have places to do that?
Yeah, but it's a bit of the old modern day darts, but of course nice and safe for the kids to use, but fun.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Especially if you've got a little sister around.
And there's some great training that you do to actually make that mind and body connection to actually deliver those things to the target. Like, that's impressive.
Oh, exactly. Moving it faster than the speed of light on Christmas Eve does take a lot of energy. So this is something that probably not everyone knows. There seems to be a lot of milk and cookies that are put out on Christmas Eve for me, and carrots for the reindeers, of course. But I can't eat them all. So collecting up those cookies throughout that evening, I eat a fair few of them, but they do keep me well nourished for the rest of the year. Of course, being on the sort of magical side of things, they don't go off. There's no such things as use-by dates in the North Pole. Everything's in the fridge at the North Pole and lasts a heap longer than anywhere else. So yes, I am sustained throughout the year by the cookies. Don't just think that I'm eating them on the delivery night itself.
Well, that has to be the case because you're so busy. You need to have stuff on hand, don't you?
Well, we do. But of course, I seem to get all the glory. I'm not going to knock that. It's not a bad thing at all. But there is that whole team, Bernard and the elves are out there beavering away the whole time. In fact, this is really, for me, the slackest part of the year, because there's a whole lot of people that are asking me on podcasts, or whether I'm sitting in shopping centres, or whatever it is. Back at the North Pole, all the elves are doing the hard work, and I'm out here getting all of the glory. It's not a bad gig at all.
So how do you actually deal with all of that adulation that you get?
I just take it in my stride. It's not bad at all. When the love of the child comes to you, it's just absolutely amazing. Looking after all the children, and when I say children, there's the small kids and big kids alike. You're all children to me.
With having done the job for so long, I'm sure that's the case.
Oh yes. I remember you as a young tallywhacker. Yes, you were on that naughty list a lot, but not recently. You've really become quite a nice person, Paul, so I think you'll be on the permanently good list from now on in.
Oh, I like to hear that. All that cloak and dagger of, stuff of tracing back. You don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, no. As long as you've reformed, your mum and dad did say that they were slightly worried about you as a youngster, but very proud the way you've turned out now.
That's why they got me that Cox PT-19 control line aeroplane. I love that thing. That was fantastic.
They were very, very popular back in the day, but now, of course, the lines have gone and it's remote control planes and helicopters and all sorts of stuff for the kids nowadays. Lucky the elves have stayed up with technology. They're quite a whiz with a soldering iron.
And what would the world be like if you weren't here? Because like here I'm looking at what does it mean that you're here?
Well, it's just that magic of Christmas time. It can be a very tough time for people out there, of course, and the joy of Christmas is very, very important, to bring that joy of Christmas time to the world, where we can forget about all of the ugly stuff that's happening, and just bring that joy and love and spread that out amongst all of us. So we're really just a big community floating out there in space on our own little rock.
Yeah, and then looking at Harvey as a particular location, there's been some big things going on in Harvey this year, and you contributed to that, didn't you?
Well, there's been a lot of things. There's been a lot of things happening. There's always good stuff happening around the place, and there is one fella in Harvey. Well, there's more than one fella in Harvey, in fact, that does a good Santa impersonation. But this particular one that you're talking about, he removed his beard just in time for Christmas and was able to raise a lot of money. The Harvey community definitely has a great big heart and the ability to reach into their pockets to help out people. And there's a support collective that's been put together by a few church groups and other groups around that care about the community. And a beard came, in fact 3 beards came off at the Harvey Gala night, and the generosity of the town came through in a big way. $5,600 so far has been raised for this support collective, who are helping a whole lot of families out around town who find it very, very tough at Christmas time. So big hampers are going out to those families, and it really will make a big, big change to their Christmas time.
That's about ensuring that Christmas joy gets shared around.
Oh, that's right. This is the time of year to really show your love for fellow men.
Wonderful. That's great to hear about all of that.
Paul, there is one group that sort of has been able to wangle its way into a lot of communities, not here, or not just here, but all around Australia, and now it's beginning to spread around the globe, and that's the Men's Shed. And I liken them to my little elves. It's a great community organisation, and there's certainly been a few sightings of Santa at Men's Sheds all around the Men's Shed fraternity, building those beautiful wooden toys in many cases that almost outdo my elves in their workmanship. So I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to the Men's Sheds, who are out there doing a lot of Santa work at this time of year.
Yeah, Men's Sheds do an incredible amount of good stuff for the community, so it's really good to hear that. And Santa's there regular by the sound of things.
Well, let's just say the magic of Santa definitely gets into all the Men's Sheds at this time of year.
That's interesting, because my interview on Saturday is actually about the Bayswater Men's Shed.
Oh, is it? Oh, good. Yeah, Men's Sheds are a very, very good organisation. Very good.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a podcast for them as well. I think, is it John Paul Young does a podcast for the Men's Shed? Actually, I don't know how much.
Not John Paul Young as in John Paul Young.
I think so.
Oh, the John Paul Young.
Yeah, I
Does
believe
he?
so. Yeah.
Wow.
The Shed. I mean, it's called The Shed. What else would it be called?
Right.
So, yeah, there's a podcast for that.
There's a podcast for everything, Paul. There's a podcast for everything.
And they're great. Podcasts are great. I love podcasts.
Well, yeah, I find that podcasts are very high on my listening list. Even though community radio is a big thing in my life as well, I do find that podcasts are a great way to get information from people that you trust.
Absolutely. So bringing the story back to Santa Claus,
Mm-hmm.
is the community radio having anything planned for Christmas?
Well, we have the Rotary Club of Harvey being very generous to us and giving us $50 a week to give away as cash prizes to people when the old Christmas song gets replayed during the day. But there just seems to be so much love and support that really comes to the surface in many communities around the place, and it just seems that every single organisation, whether it be a Lions club or the local cricket club, our run club, the men's shed. Everybody has to organise a Christmas function. So people are very, very busy at this time of the year, but a lot of community spirit and a community cheer is definitely seen and felt in December each year.
Excellent. That's all the drive that's come from Santa Claus, really, to help spread that cheer, and it's replicating itself throughout society.
Well, Mrs. Claus would say, Santa, you haven't got any drive at all. You know, it all comes from me. Being Mrs. Claus, she's fantastic. She pushes me to get out there and do lots of stuff. But of course, Bernard and the elves, they also... They set such a fine example that I must go above and beyond whenever I see people like that out there doing such wonderful things in the community.
That's amazing. And so, Santa Claus, what do you do outside of Christmas time? Because, you know, we know those kids aren't going to get their lists in until October. And, you know, by New Year's Day, you're pretty much wrapped up and footloose and fancy free, some would say.
Oh, yes, but as with any annual project, straight away it starts again. The lists, it would be lovely if the kids brought the lists out, but no, my corporate sponsors, they're on to me to do a whole lot of stuff afterwards. But mid-January, normally things have wound down and I find myself looking for a vacation spot. And Mary, she was saying to me the Daintree might be the place to go this year. So looking for a little bit of a vacation up in far north Queensland. It gets so cold at the North Pole. It gets so cold. Stupidly, a few years ago, we chose Tasmania. Oh, it was just like going home. There was no vacation there at all. But yes, it will all start again soon enough. But to have a few weeks away is absolutely glorious.
Wonderful to travel to beautiful places. And what did Queensland say? Beautiful one day and perfect the next. Yes. Obviously, they haven't been to Harvey.
Yes, that's exactly right. Exactly right. But yes, it's nice to have some time off. But when you are a global figure like myself, I'm just being pulled from pillar to post at everyone's beck and call, it seems.
And what's your predictions for, you know, we've got this Christmas that's pretty much under wraps. Don't want to give too much away this year. What's the big thing in gifts going to be?
Well, we're not sure. And that's the magic of Christmas. Until the letters start arriving, who knows what's happening in a child's mind? But definitely you see these fads coming through. Will it be dolls? Will it be cars? Will it be different types of cards and games? It does keep us on our toes. And if we only knew what was going to happen next year, I'd be able to buy some shares in whatever particular toy company, and you never know, I might be able to retire from this gig.
So that's all well and good, but is there a connection to family as well with what you do?
Paul, we have a society for those that share magic, and Mary, myself, Bernard, the elves, the Easter Bunny. Sasquatch was in there for a while, but then he started to terrorise some tourists, so we threw him out of the league. But there's lots of talk when we get together, all of those of us who share joy and love around the globe whenever we possibly can. But one thing that we always talk about at the meetings is the love and the way that really you should cherish that connection with your family and your friends. Everything comes back down to the small community that you live within. And sharing the love, looking after your fellow man there, that's really the magic that we're all trying to share, whether it be at Easter time, Christmas, or any other big celebration.
Yeah, that's an amazingly good place for people to be, kind and considerate towards their family and sharing the joy with them. It
is lovely to watch. Sometimes when I'm sitting on my throne in the centre of a Christmassy themed shopping centre, or whether it just be at some local markets, it's always the same. The excitement, the love, and you can see the pride in the mum's eyes when that magic of Christmas is dropped on the child and they're just so excited. There's no better time of the year at all.
It's wonderful to see the joy. Love it. Cool. Now, Santa, you've been doing this forever and you've talked about holidays and potentially even retirement. Where's the next Santa coming from?
Oh, well, this is something that you don't find out until you have a baby with a full white beard. There's only been 27 of us because eventually we have to have a rest. But when that next bearded baby comes along, there will be a little bit of a shock for the parents. But usually the doctors that deliver these babies, they know to give us a call. Get onto the old Santa alert desk, and we know to make sure that that new child, whoever it is that's chosen, can have a wonderful life, spreading love, cheer, and a hell of a lot of presents out to kids around the world.
Sounds a bit like all the generations of the Phantom from the Phantom comics, where you're in that bloodline in effect. So this is a slight variation on that.
Well, speaking of slight variations, this amongst my people, this is the old chicken or the egg. Which came first, Santa or the Phantom? Kit Walker.
Kit Walker, yes.
I think it's Santa.
I think you're right. That those purple skin-suited things, Santa's definitely got it all over them.
Oh yes, no Lycra for us. Once you get to a certain size, but the Phantom has kept himself rather trim, but no one leaves cookies and cake and milk and whiskey or these things out for the Phantom, so no wonder I'm the big fat guy and he's still svelte.
And you're the one everyone wants to see.
Exactly. There's not many people who come up and ask to sit on the Phantom's knee, is there? Now, Paul, I must say I've been receiving letters from you for decades now, but your writing has got a little bit bad just recently, and I made a note of actually wanting to ask you, what was it you actually asked for this year, Paul?
For me this year, we'll be spending a bit of time with the family. Probably not as much because we have to travel so far to be with them this year. So definitely looking forward to that. And there's a couple of tech toys on that list as well. So, things that'll help with my podcast and help with my oral history recordings. So you could say they could be a business purchase as well. So, yeah, a couple of things.
Well, I might even leave a receipt or two with you then when I deliver it on Christmas Eve. But yes, it is fascinating how things have changed over the years with certain individuals as they grow up and they want to get the different toys in their life. There's always the same theme. It's always a toy, really, that people are after, but those toys definitely do change.
I've learnt that you don't buy home appliances as gifts.
It's a very good way to get in trouble, to get a saucepan or even a kettle or an iron. Yes.
And don't go anywhere near a vacuum cleaner.
No. There should never be a Dyson Christmas present, ever.
So, Santa Claus, do you actually have a list?
I know I'm on a few lists. Speaking of lists, Paul, it's been very interesting. Our lists now are very magical. With so many privacy laws coming in, Santa's also been subject to those. So it's kind of like a magical disappearing list where people let us know exactly what they want, but then the next year that evidence is gone. But don't you worry about that. It's all up here in the old noggin. I know who's been naughty or nice over the years, but I do like the fact that things are trending towards the niceness even more and more. And don't you worry about it, Paul. You're safe. You're safe with this list.
That was a very sneaky way of getting away from your list.
My list. Yes, I'm on naughty lists. There's some people who say I can't be trusted, but that's just a bit of a local joke between Mary and myself. Do I have a list? Well, it depends how the elves are behaving. Usually in February or March, top on the list is a new set of elves.
A new set of elves?
A new set of elves, because they get cheeky at that time of the year. We're not quite aware of all of the things they can usually keep up. There's not a backlog of of presents that they have to make. They're ahead of the curve, and that's where they get a little bit naughty. Because if you've got some magical abilities, they can make things pop in and out of existence, and sometimes those little new rebellious elves can go missing for a month or two. But no, usually by the end of the year, new elves are not on my list. They've all been forgiven. But really, what I like is a nice, comfortable chair. The sleigh's been operating quite nicely lately. I'll tell you what I could have. I could have a new sack. I wouldn't mind a new sack. The amount of gear that's been held, transported, and distributed using this sack has worn a hole or two in it, but just like a comfy pair of undies, usually you put up with it for a while when they're slightly holey. But yes, there you go. There's a newsflash. This year, for Christmas, Santa wouldn't mind a new sack.
I'm sure that can be arranged.
Well, that would be very, very nice. I didn't even have to sit on anyone's lap to make that request.
Well, thank you very much, Santa, and you're about to get extremely busy, as if you haven't been busy already. And all Forest.chat listeners wish you all the best with your future endeavour that's like right around the corner.
Yes, thank you very much. And can I put the request out? I'm not feeling like whiskey this year, but eggnog, bring it on.
Eggnog, okay. Well, that's another thing that can be done.
Thank you very much, Paul, for inviting me in to have a quick chat. I must get back off to the North Pole and make sure that Bernard and the team are doing a great job up there. So ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas, everybody!
And thank you very much, Santa. You've been listening to Forest.chat, where we talk about individual endeavour in Western Australia, what it takes, what it means, and how you do it. I hope you all have an amazing Christmas and all the best for the new year. Thank you very much.